Yeah, I wanted to look at this article. This is an insane schizo post, by the way. Take this with a grain of salt, obviously. The person who made this is insane. The dangerous rise of men who won't date woke women. Every woman is woke and every man is an extreme right-wing person. T-word. Can't say that at the start of a YouTube video, though. This will get instantly demonetized. Why is it dangerous? Because you disagree with me. That's why. This is by Vicky Spratt. She's writing an article about how men are bad. Okay. The word irrespective means saying or doing something without taking anything else into account. For example, irrespective of the fact that the cost of living has jumped, putting pressure on many people. The government plowed on with Brexit and argued that there would be no real economic impact. Okay, so it is fitting that the white man of the moment, Lawrence Fox, oh god, Fox, me, Fox, caught, chat, I'm a man, Fox, caught, who appeared in the BBC's program and told an audience member that Meghan Markle has not been on the receiving end of racism, has not been on the receiving end of racism before subsequently appearing on the cover of the Sunday Times to tell the world that he does not, quote unquote, date woke women, and displaying an appalling understanding of history by inclusion of a Sikh soldier in a film incongruous and has irrespective tattooed on his arm. Okay, I don't know what that means. Anyway, did you hear that at the back, ladies? Lawrence Fox, who you perhaps only knew as Billy Piper's ex-husband because you've never seen Lewis, does not date a woke woman who he believes are being taught that they are victims irrespective of whether they are right or not. He thinks that it's institutionally racist to tell the story of the First World War in a racially diverse way, irrespective of the fact that Sikh soldiers absolutely fought for Britain, and he also doesn't believe in white privilege. Holy shit, verbal diarrhea. He doesn't believe in white privilege, irrespective of the fact that he works in a painfully undiverse industry, was privately educated, and comes from a wealthy acting family, which is nothing short of a dynasty. Chat, hot take. You can be right about some things and wrong about others. I don't know anything about this Sikh soldier or this racism thing or whatever, but women being taught that they are victims in the West and being oppressed by men in the West in the year of our Lord 2025, even though this was written in 2020, I think, yeah, I was correct, is 100% true. I think I'm very privileged as a white woman living in a Western country. I am. I think most people can say that, and those are the ones crying on TikTok about how men are horrible. They exist. It's nothing short of gaslighting, and all men are bad. It's okay. Let's keep it going. Yas, queen, yas. And as you would expect, the whole debacle has lit a fire under anti-woke poster boy Piers Morgan while gaining Fox thousands of extra Twitter followers. Why do you care about Fox gaining Twitter followers, by the way? Why is this even important? How is this relevant to the conversation? I could go over all the things he said. I could use data to prove how wrong he is. I could express concern for his mental health. After all, who really enjoys arguing on Twitter? Okay, fair. I could make jokes about his behavior, but all of that would be too seriously miss the point. Wait, but all of that would be to seriously miss the point. Okay, wait, I had to think about that. So you won't provide evidence. You bring up his mental health anecdotally. Granted, maybe posting a lot of, I don't know, posts in general is not a good indicator. So why won't you post the evidence of him having like mental problems or something, or data, like actual, like hard evidence. You know what I'm saying? I won't provide evidence. Do your research, Becca. Oh my god. Yeah, it'll make your point stronger. Exactly, chat. Why don't you just do that? Okay. There's nothing funny about the things Fox or Wokey McWokeface, as he now wants to be known. Wait, he unironically said that? Wokey McWokeface? You can't tell I'm being sarcastic. Chat, call me Wokey McFoxface. This is so funny. I don't know why. Wokey McFolkface. It's also not particularly sad. It's dangerous. A person naming themselves Wokey McWolkface is dangerous. Okay. He is one very privileged man, and a result of said privilege has been given a platform. So have you. You're probably a white woman in Britain who's probably pretty well off and has a journalism degree. But okay, you're a victim, I suppose. Miss Vicky, as we saw. And he has used that platform to legitimize a bigger backlash against diversity and progress, which is unfolding every single day in less public corners of the internet. Man, how do you think this girl is doing in 2025? This article was written around about 5 years ago, give or take. It was written in 2020. DEI is absolutely getting shit on in current year. It's gotten way worse for her in the last few years compared to 2020. Yeah. Yeah, probably ripped all her hair out by now. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I hope the best for her, but it is what it is. Where was I? Oh. Not wanted to date woke women, far from being laughable, is actually one of the more insidious aspects of it. Okay. Spend an afternoon on any major dating app and you'll come across generally white men saying openly sexist and misogynistic things. Okay, hold the phone. She's from Britain and she's surprised that there's mostly white men on the dating app, and there's also white men that are more single in most aspects. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to like take a look at the demographic in Britain, but there's still a decent amount of white people living in Britain, no? What? British people are white? Actually, Bennett is very diverse now. Yeah. They might say no psychos. Wait, hold on. Why is it sexist to say no psychos? Hold on, wait! I would say that too. No schizos? Is that sexist of me to say no schizos in my dating app? Yeah. It is? Aw, dang it. Or that they fucking hate big eyebrows in their bios. Wait, I pluck my eyebrows. I don't like big eyebrows either. Am I a sexist pig? I suppose so. And by and large, they also tend to hold extremely right-wing views and see themselves as victims of liberal thinking. Chat, if someone is putting their, like, political views on the dating app in the first, like, 10 seconds or, like, you know, their first swipe, I think there's a problem. Even if their political alignment or their thoughts are the same as mine, I still think I take it as a red flag. Even if they agree with some of the things that I think, you know what I'm saying? Anyone who puts their political views out like that as professional victims, but like on a dating app to boot. Now, it's not like Reddit or something, right? Where you're just schizo posting or whatever, or forum posting. This is this is literally a dating app, and you say no psychos, and that's somehow sexist. Okay. In fact, as I was writing this, a dear friend sent me a screenshot of a guy she's just matched with who describes Jordan B. Peterson as his dream dinner guest. Yes, the same Jordan B. Peterson who thinks that white privilege is a Marxist lie and wants millennials to drop their obsession with social justice, quote unquote. Chat, 100% anecdotal, by the way. No screenshot, no evidence, no screenshot with like a blurred number. It's absolutely like what are we doing, man? My friend meshed with Jordan. I meshed with my friend meshed with a guy that likes Jordan Peterson. We have a pandemic of anti-woke men because of this. Grr! Holy shit! It's my personal 9/11. Do you think, chat, low-key, do you think girls or guys with left-wing idols don't exist that post this in their bio? Like, be honest, like, think about it. I don't even know what to say. I feel like that's just a red flag. An insane red flag. In any case, like if someone puts like, I don't know, off the top of my head. Maybe even, I won't even be specific. If they put, I love X celebrity, I'd be like, that's not a personality gauge. That's just you inserting your, like, into your bio, you are inserting some sort of celebrity that you probably really liken yourself to. You don't have, like, a personality. Yeah. I think it's a red flag. Insane. You get... I, meanwhile, recently had to block someone who, after matching with me, launched into a vile rant about how women are evil and only want sex and treat men as though they are disposable. Well, statistically speaking, men kind of do have... Pause. Let me unpack this. If he did that, why didn't you take screenshots? Because I would probably farm this for content. If I was a journalist, I would have taken screenshots. My second thought is, like, from a statistical perspective, technically, yes, men are very discardable compared to women because there's more men than women on the dating platform. Yeah. It's the way nature is. Yes and no. I think that dating apps in general have completely skewed the table. It used to be at least a little bit higher for men to be out in the world and looking for dates and stuff. But yeah. Men are disposable. Who goes to wars? Chat, like, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but there's not a lot of women going to the front lines of Iraq and Iran or whatever and throwing themselves into war. It's men. Historically speaking, at least. Drones? Okay, you got me a gotcha. Haha, very funny. Anyway. Anecdotal evidence. Absolutely amazing. All of this, of course, speaks not only to the presence of the very active online communities of anti-feminist incels. Chat, remember? You guys are anti-feminist femcels. Incels, sorry. You are the problem. But to the prevalence of the hideous and incorrect ideas they promoted, it doesn't take magical thinking to see how men are radicalized by anti-feminism. Classic. Hold on, I gotta go back up to this one. This one just kind of drives me insane. This whole fucking shtick. You found one guy you don't like saying he won't date woke women, and your friend matched, anecdotally speaking, with zero evidence, with a Jordan Peterson lover once, and you had a bad experience with a guy who doesn't like women that may or may not have valid reasons. You didn't even extrapolate or like go beyond that. He just said all evil, all women are evil. They only want sex and men are disposal. Like no context, no like rant or anything. Yeah, I'm supposed to believe that, by the way. This article is definitely not skewed or biased. And that means there's a very active online community of anti-feminist incels. Take your meds, man. I'm sorry. Who gets paid to write this garbage? Get off social media, man. Ugh. This is not objective reporting. It's an opinion piece. There are no sources. It's purely anecdotal. I'm very well aware, but it's just that you're writing about having one experience and then blanketing it as like an entire thing. You didn't even say, oh, well, I had some few good dates. It's just like, it's very skewed and it has a clear bias. I don't care. It's... Oh, and then they start citing stuff. Oh, the way they're citing actual, like, stats. Oh, chat, look at that. I'm just making fun of her silly opinion, okay? She's bringing up stats. Let me read it. As the saying goes, when you're used to privilege, equality feels like oppression. What? I've never heard this saying once in my life. What? Have you heard of this shit? Says the Western woman writing her opinion piece on a blog post in free speech. Sadly, yes. I've never heard of it. Maybe because I don't feel like I'm oppressed. The reactionary influence of these ideas don't stop at dating, though. As a campaign group, Hope No Hate reported last year, hostility towards feminism is feeding directly into far-right movements online. They found that a third of young British people today believe that feminism is marginalizing or demonizing men, and warned that these beliefs were a slip road to other far-right ideas. Okay, but then I mean, yeah, a lot of really extreme feminism does demonize men and marginalize them and call them pieces of shit that just rape all the time. I've met people like that in real life who just can't handle being around other men. I'm not saying like all feminism is like that. Absolutely not. I just think that the extreme parts absolutely do. There's no denying it. Yeah. This article demonizes it. I mean, it's not an article, it's an opinion piece, but like, yeah, absolutely, it does. Blanketing all men like this is crazy. This isn't just speculation. We know that the number of far-right referrals to the British government's de-radicalization scheme Prevent has dramatically increased recently. They link to an article. In the year from 2017 to 18, they jumped from 36%, while referrals for Islamism actually decreased by 14%. I'm not sure what that means. While referrals for Islamism actually decrease? So they're more accepting of Islam? I'm not sure. No? While referrals... Maybe I'm misunderstanding something. They're receiving more reports. No, this one it says it's less. Anyway, I'll keep reading. I'll think about it. Right now, Lawrence Fox, whether he realizes it or not, has just landed the biggest part of his life. He is legitimizing hatred and division, yet he cannot be completely unaware of the role he plays. He has spoken about being radicalized himself on YouTube. Chat, if someone says they've been radicalized on YouTube, you need to back up from them, man. You need to back the fuck up. Like, unironically, I joke and say, like, yeah, watching YouTube makes me a radicalist. Like, I've joked about that before, but unironically saying that? Come on, dude. Maybe he was joking. Last year, he released an album called The Grief Observed, which is largely about his acrimonious split from Piper, his wife or something. When the Times interviewed him about, he turned up wearing a pro-Donald Trump MAGA hat, cap, and said it was a social experiment. He then told the interviewer that he spent a lot of his time watching YouTube interviews, which had totally radicalized him. And caused them to embark on a crusade against woke culture and political correctness. He wanted, he said, to call one of the songs Me Too, but he was prevented by his record label. This can't be real. This is so fucking stupid. I wanted to call it Me Too, but they told me not to. Oh, YouTube interviews radicalized him. Again, this is a completely anecdotal opinion piece. I think unironically that the celebrity who I've never heard of, this guy, showing up to an event wearing a Trump hat does far less to radicalize men against wokeness or whatever than writing articles like this. That and attacking video games, but we talked about that yesterday or the other day, whenever that happened. Like, she's right. Anti-wokeness has gotten bigger in the last 4 years. But it's not because of this irrelevant celebrity. I've genuinely never heard of him before. I just thought it was funny when his name was Fox. Is he from Britain? Yeah, I suppose. Deducing from the context. I maybe that's why I haven't heard of him. But it's not because of this one guy. Fox is a case in point that what might start as playing devil's advocate by wandering the streets in a MAGA cap to provoke hipsters can quickly turn into something more sinister. Wait, are you saying that hipsters are all liberals? Or like, what? Provoke hipsters? Yeah. Like a fight? No, like triggering them? Like, you know, triggered! Ah, you have a MAGA hat! And by the way, I genuinely don't think him walking around like that in the UK would even be that great for farming content because it's Britain. And inadvertently, most British people, at least I would hope, don't actually give a shit about American politics. Like, yes, I know, like, the whole global thing affects everyone, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really do anything. Like, he's allowed to wear it, it's dumb, but like, okay. Anyway, provoke hipsters, that's strong. The far right itself can be difficult to pin down because it isn't exactly a coherent global movement with a concrete set of ideas. It largely exists online, in Facebook groups, as Twitter accounts, on YouTube, and anonymous message boards such as 8chan. There it is. There it is. All of it. 8chan, you're out. But every now and then their bile spills out dangerously into the offline world. Holy shit, we're talking about 8chan. That's why this woman is so alarmed of writing a personal 9/11 opinion piece. She was browsing 8chan probably. She probably saw some schizos fucking saying slurs and shit. Who is 8chan? It's like 4chan squared. In 2016, the Labour MP was murdered by the far-right terrorists 25 years before he killed her. Wait, whoa. 25 years before he killed this MP, he told a far-right magazine that the white race faced a long and very bloody struggle. What? And it was 8chan that hosted the manifestos of 3 mass shooters who killed scores of people last year. Wait, hold on, can I just say something? If it wasn't 8chan, it's gonna be Twitter that's holding the manifesto. No, I've seen manifestos posting on Twitter as well. Like, I don't think it's exclusive to like one website. By that logic, again, it's called free distribution of information. And a bunch of other mass shooters got it. Susan Faludi wrote about the link between the violence, anger, and anti-feminism prophetically in her book back in 1991, long before the turbulent times which have seen the rise to power of two male caricatures, Donald Trump and the accession of Boris Johnson as our prime minister. So she is from the UK. When an attack on home soil causes cultural paroxysms, I don't know what that means, that have nothing to do with the attack, when we respond to real threats to our nation by distrusting ourselves with imagined threats to femininity and family life, when we invest our leaders with a cartoon masculinity and require them of bluster and low of the capacity of our rational calculation, and we blame our frailty in the fifth column feminists. Oh, we're saying that they're saying that the blame isn't on extreme advanced fifth wave feminism. Okay. This is the schizopolitical that spends all their time browsing radical breeding ground on the other side of the aisle. Reddit or 4chan just makes them angry and schizoposts about it. This absolutely happens, chat. For my mental health, I don't read 4chan or Reddit like actively all the time. When I end stream, I just kind of turn off. I don't really read anything. When you consume that kind of content and people are like, I fucking hate you, I hope you die, like, everybody gets hate. Everybody, even the most wholesome streamer ever. If you go out looking for it, of course it's gonna radicalize you. Again, don't stop doing it to yourself. It's bad for your mental health, especially if you're fragile. Anyway, in short, when we base our security on a mythical male strength that can only increase itself against a mythical male weakness, what? We should know that we are exhibiting the symptoms of a lethal and albeit curable cultural affliction. Wait, so are they saying that men are only strong because comparatively they're strong to weak women? Even though we as women are biologically weaker than men from a scientific and biological perspective, with lower reflex times, less upper body strength, less testosterone, not being able to be as strong even if you work out as much as the next person. Yeah, the next man, sorry. I don't know, man. He-Man versus Wonder Woman issue? Why are we bringing up He-Man and Wonder Woman when they're freaking fictional characters? I think it refers to more than physical strength, like moral fiber and emotional strength. I've been around so many women in the workplace, and they're the ones that have fucking mental breakdowns and call out of work like more than any other man I see in any other fucking place in my workplace when I work the 9 to 5. I'm sorry, I don't hate women, it's just how women are. Women go through hormonal changes once a month. It sucks. I go through it too. It blows. Men go through hormonal changes too, but it's not like up and down, up and down, up and down every fucking month. It's horrible, but that's not it. I love women. We are strong in some ways, but we are weak in other ways. Men are strong in some ways and weak in other ways, and that's why when you combine them together, ideally, you work together. And that's what makes us powerful as human beings. Yeah. It's not nearly as extreme as what women go through. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's like there are weaknesses to being a female, and that's okay. So do men. I think that some men really think with their peepees, or they think with their anger. And that's what men are built to do. Their extreme emotions are like that. She added, when the enemy has no face, society will invent one. Yeah, okay, that's reasonable, but I don't agree with the whole mythical male strength thing, or mythical female weakness thing. For men like Fox who feel like they have been wronged somehow, that they are missing out on opportunities because for once in history, they are being given to other people, women and people of color become the enemy. But they're not being given to women and people of color because of merit. They're being given those opportunities because of DEI, chat. And then those women are ruining my video games and blaming it on fucking chuds and blaming it on me. If only she knew, chat. This was written in 2020. She doesn't know. Yeah, she doesn't know, bro. Again, there are women in video games that make beautiful, wonderful stuff. And they're special, and they're awesome. But if you don't have the actual skill and the merit, you shouldn't just be hired over someone else just because you're a woman. And they're really rare? Yeah. Chat. Why are there no women in video games? Why? Why? Because men hate women! That's why. Anyway. You can see it in the abuse threats received by women MPs and the wildly different treatment of Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton. While Middleton, who generally keeps her to herself and says little, has become a pin-up heroine for traditionalists. What? Markle, who has spoken openly about sexism and racism, trying to use her platform for good, has been quite literally driven out of the country, condemned for being an outspoken snowflake. But that's kind of how it works. If you keep to yourself, generally schizos won't attack you. Yeah. I don't get it. That's kind of how it works. If you have an outspoken opinion, you get attacked more. Every time he's invited onto a, hold on. Make no mistake, the far right is already capitalizing on Fox's words, gassing him up and turning into one icon. He is added to their backlash and given to oxygen. Every time he is invited onto a TV or radio talk show host to talk about it, the oxygen will cause the backlash to burn hotter and faster. Irrespective of whether we're watching or not, it's important not to trivialize this anti-woke, anti-woman backlash. In the end, it's only by paying attention to it that we can understand and do something about it. Vicky, this was a great opinion piece. I just pulled out this opinion piece because I wanted to point out how wrong they are about anti-wokeness. Like it happening. Like, why anti-wokeness is a thing. It is wild to think one irrelevant or semi-irrelevant B-list actor celebrity is causing this big pendulum swing in the UK. This has been brewing for like the last probably, I would say 15 years, inside of the UK at least, from what I understand. It's literally just regular people's hobbies, or video games, movies, TV shows, being invaded by woke people and trying to force their ideology down people's throats that just want to enjoy what they used to enjoy a lot, and now obviously something's changed. It's like when Coca-Cola changed the formula for Coca-Cola and everybody was pissed and they didn't know why, and then Coca-Cola came out and said we changed the formula. Obviously it's a little bit apples and oranges, but the principle is the same. People will find the reason why they don't like something because they used to enjoy it a lot and now suddenly something's changed. They also changed the formula and marketed it. Well, okay, in this hypothetical scenario, let's just say they didn't say it. But with this, I would argue it's actually worse than the Coca-Cola thing, actually, because people like Sweet Baby Inc. People like Sweet Baby Inc. actively say they are hiding an agenda. Yeah, they say they don't want to be found out and they change stuff. Marketing started the whole stupid white man bit and people noticed it. I don't think it was direct as saying stupid white man. I think it was small little tidbits, you know, small little things people started to notice over the years. And eventually I think it just spilled over and people went into the extremist pendulum swing of completely disagreeing with Hollywood, freaking out, making... Like, Gamergate happened, Anita Sarkeesian with Gamergate happened, and that was insane. People forget that that happened, like, almost, like, 10 years ago, but that was kind of, like, where it started, in my opinion. The problem is that people were millennials and teens. Wait, the problem is that these people were millennial teens and wanted all this stuff in media, so they wrote gay smut fan fiction on Tumblr. And were told if they want to see it, they had to make it themselves, so they went into game development to make their teenage stories into reality, and now it's swinging the other way. I'm gonna entertain that idea. I think that's pretty funny if that's true, because I know exactly what you're talking about. There was a massive swing of gay smut fanfiction, like back a long time ago on like Tumblr and stuff, that would like pop up every now and then for different fandoms. Maybe you're right. I don't know. There's no like empirical evidence. However, I think that could very well be possible. Destroying Tumblr, the containment zone, was a terrible mistake. Tumblr was destroyed, and then Twitter became the new Tumblr. Yeah, I remember that. Everyone switched over to Twitter and started posting porn or whatever. All the crazies left Tumblr and went to Twitter. Well, yeah, it's where you could post everything pretty much. Yeah. And now they're on Blue Sky. Well, the really extreme ones. Yeah, I would say the insanely extreme ones that can't even handle having like an opposing opinion on their timeline. It's like an extra like containment zone, like the inner circle.